With 22 years of my life under my belt, I thought it would be a good idea to look at one of my favorite hobbies of all time. I've played hundreds of games over my life, of all shapes and sizes, but which ones do I favor the most? Which games speak to me on a personal level? That's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be counting down my top 22 favorite video games of all time. These games are all ones that I'm just addicted to. I can play over and over and not get bored. It's also worth noting that these games are my personal bias, so I can acknowledge that some placements may not be the general consensus. Like, a brief spoiler on my list, there's some games I put above Uncharted 4, but I acknowledge aren't as good objectively. So before we get into the actual list, I want to leave some honorable mentions. We're going to start off with the strong trio of games for the GameCube: Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Sunshine, and Luigi's Mansion. All three of these games are such strong, classic titles, but they definitely show their age. I was really hoping that in the 3D All-Stars version of Sunshine, there would be an updated movement, but unfortunately, this wasn't the case. There's just so much creativity in all these games, it's unbelievable. It's just too bad the controls have aged so poorly. Now let's get into the real list. Cuphead is a creative game that everyone, at some point or another, needs to play. The animations alone are worth this super cheap price, and every level, every boss is so painstakingly unique that it's impossible not to appreciate. The game's difficulty is perfect as well, right on the line between hard and fucking annoying. I love this game, comes in at 22. Splitgate is probably the best modern shooter you can play right now, bar none. I don't know who put a portal mechanic in a shooter, but you, sir, are a goddamn genius. I think it's painfully obvious that power creep is taking over most modern shooters, like Call of Duty for instance, but in Splitgate, everyone has the same guns, you're all in the same even playing field, there's no OP loadouts, there's no bullshit weapons, you're all in the same playing field, and you're forced to use the entire game's arsenal throughout the various game modes. So if you suck ass with a sniper, you gotta learn how to use that. All the maps are cool, unique, and there's so many funny game modes, like Teabag Confirmed, where you have to teabag the guy you just killed to get a point. It's just such goofy fun. I never walk away from Splitgate pissed off. Not to mention, there's a map creator. Like, dude, how is this game not #1 in everything? So it comes in at 21. Batman Arkham City is the perfect Batman game. It's not too small like Arkham Asylum, and it doesn't over-rely on a car mechanic for too long. The map is so dense with fun things to do, and the combat is oh so satisfying. Every villain, every side quest, every Easter egg is so fun to explore, and it's probably one of the most iconic endings to a video game, period. Comes in at number 20. SpiderMan for the PS4 is just a joy to play. The movement is so good, I don't use the fast travel, and I think that should be a monument to how good this game is. Just swinging around New York is just so addicting. I love it, and it's a full, complete story. It spares no villains. It spares nothing for a sequel. It's just pure fun, and it's like Arkham City, but in the modern day and with Spider-Man. It comes in at 19. Battlefield 1 is my favorite Battlefield, even with its seemingly ancient setting. It still manages to be goofy as hell. Unfortunately, the servers aren't that populated anymore, so most of the maps are just barren wastelands. But when Battlefield 1 was in its heyday, it was magical. I'll never get sick of seeing the Zeppelin just falling from the sky, bursting into flames. There's just those magic moments, whether it's your own skill just going off, or just the most insane thing happening right in front of your very eyes, comes in at 18. SSX 2012 was the only SSX game I've ever played, and it was just a pure blast. I love just cruising down these insanely fabricated courses for hours and hours. The soundtrack as well is just skull candy to me. It still blows my mind how each unique setting really is, and how there's a gimmick like in the Antarctica levels, you can literally just fucking freeze to death. In the Patagonia levels, you can just fall off a 20-mile cliff. In the Kilimanjaro levels, it's so dark you can just slam into a wall and die. Comes in at 17. Skate 3 is the last good skateboarding game. It's an amazing open world with so much to do, with various challenges and a funny-ass multiplayer. I remember just chilling out on the weekends with my friends, just dicking around in various places. And then there's this insane Hawaii DLC, like, come on, man. I can only hope, like Half-Life 3 and GTA 6, that one day, Skate 4 is real. And one day they don't fuck it up. Comes in at 16. In a similar vein to the last two, Riders Republic is probably my favorite extreme sports game. I know I'm biased with the fact that I do most of these sports actively in real life. It just feels like this game was made for me, or if I was to make a game, this would probably be it. It takes real life places I've been to and exaggerates them to Kingdom Come. I would love to see a Pacific Northwest expansion to this map, or something like that. That's like the meccas of these sports, and I would love to see places like Whistler, Mount Hood, the North Shore, all realized into an insane riding paradise. It's a great filler game to play for a few hours to just have in your library. It's just so fun. It comes in at 15. Black Ops 2 is no doubt probably the best Call of Duty, period. While there is another game on this list that I personally rank higher a little bit, I do acknowledge that this is the most well-rounded COD. Every game mode is fully supported and awesome. There's an awesome campaign, incredibly fun multiplayer, and a near perfect zombies mode. There's not that many negatives to all three of the fully fledged game modes. It's so good, even the microtransactions are good. Come on, man. Comes in at number 14. Super Mario Odyssey is the ultimate collectathon. There's so many worlds to explore, and the movement is at its highest potential. It's the pinnacle of modern Mario games, and I urge anyone who hasn't played this to give it a shot, man. The best part is that there's a couple great stopping points for each type of player. There's the 120 moon ending, there's the 500 moons for the real ending, or the 900 something whatever moons that you can get for the full complete ending, and it comes in number 13. Borderlands 2 is still the best Borderlands experience. All I can say is, if you don't have the Handsome Collection, wake up. There's just so much to do. There's so many quests, so many missions, so many DLCs, so many Headhunter packs, and they're all just such a joyous wonder to play. Every character, every location has an incredible sense of character and just pure goofiness. There are weapon combos you can just go insane with and just one-shot everything, and the fact that it's so broken is why I like it so much. But still, there are these raid bosses that are just a joy to farm. Comes in number 12. Resident Evil 8 is probably my favorite game in the entire series, and the fact that I haven't played 4 is probably the reason for that. While I enjoyed 7, the game just runs on for way too long in my opinion. The entire section of that wash-up boat, cut that out and the game's like a 10 out of 10. Resident Evil 8 has way less filler. The way that these games are structured, it's laid out in such a meticulous way that you just have to sit back and appreciate it. Every level has its own aesthetic and genre to be. The dollhouse of horror, the non-stop action of the reservoir, it's all incredible. Comes in at 11. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a game that I have loved for too long. This game's story mode is one of the best in history, period. Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, these three will go down in history as some of the most iconic people ever, full stop. The map is insane when you think about how it was released in 2013. It's just a shame that this game has been absolutely incinerated beyond repair with its multiplayer. If somehow you haven't played the story mode, do yourself a service to the planet. This is one of the first games I ever just laughed my ass off in. Comes in at number 10. Mario Kart Wii is the pinnacle of racing games. The game is so great because of just how broken it is. You can just go mental with the shortcuts in this game. All the tracks are just so creative and the character roster is bar none. I just wish it was a bit more accessible in the modern age. Every Wii I know has burst into flames. And the soundtrack, ooh, the soundtrack, comes in at number 9. South Park: The Stick of Truth is the funniest game. Nope, you know I'm right. If you love South Park, which let's be real, if you don't like South Park, leave the planet. But if you do love South Park, play this game. It's too good, it's too creative, and just downright hilarious. If you are willing to play as the Jew class, you will have 20 hours worth of gut-bursting quality gaming to enjoy. Comes in at number 8. Super Mario Galaxy is the pinnacle of the Italian plumber. Every level is so creative, it's aged so well. This is a 14-year-old game with motion controls, and it plays flawlessly. Every frame, every galaxy is something worth exploring. Even the side galaxies are worth it. Comets add replayability to levels, and the soundtrack to this game is permanently installed into my brain. Comes in at number 7. Uncharted 4 is Naughty Dog's magnum opus. It has the storytelling of The Last of Us 1 and the gameplay of Uncharted 2. It's a beautiful game, and I love just replaying it every time. Even though the story plays out the exact same every time, the game is just so good to look at. At no point in this game am I ever going to get bored, even after 7 playthroughs. It just knocks your socks off every time. Just thinking about it, I'm going to install it right now and play it again. Comes in at number 6. Black Ops 3 saved my life for real, man. I just hated existing on this planet. I was at my lowest point in life, and every night I would just go home, be miserable, but boot up Black Ops 3. It's the only multiplayer game I've reached Master Prestige in, and the Zombies mode with the custom zombies on Steam gives this game infinite replayability. It might not be objectively the best COD, but the MP and zombies are so impossibly crafted to near perfection to the part of my brain that responds to this shit. To this day, I hate COD multiplayers, but I play Black Ops 3 MP, and I'm in love. Comes in at number 5. Destiny 2 is my most played game for a reason. This game is like a TV show that never ends. Seriously, I loved playing this game, but the Witch Queen catapulted it into the stratosphere. If you're looking for a game to suck you in as a hobby, look no further. The raids and the dungeons are some of the best video game experiences, period. And I've met some of my best friends in this game, and I can't wait to see what's in store. Comes in at number 4. It Takes Two just floored me. This game is so long and so creative, and oh god, I wish I recorded my reaction to this game. There's just so many moments that just make your jaw drop. I played this game with the most stone cold man I know, and he was laughing, crying, and enjoying every second of this game alongside with me. And I hope to play this game with many more people. To my parents, future wife, and kids, we are playing this game together. It's not up for discussion. It's such a joy, and the fact that only one person needs to have this game to play it is the best decision ever, and it stuns me that this game has the EA name on it. Comes in at number 3. Doom Eternal is testosterone the video game. You will scream in 30 different ways. You will happy scream, you will sad scream, you will angry scream, you will confused scream. This game is so intense, your heart will pound just thinking about it, and it's so long that when it ends, you're gonna feel a hole in your chest, and that's the feeling of your heart not racing at 500 miles per hour. The combat is bar none, and you will have to think about every move, your positioning, your ammo, many things most PvE games don't have you concerned about. Doom Eternal will force you to plan out. It's too good. Comes in at number 2. Hollow Knight is my favorite game of all time. This world is so beautiful. The combat just gets insane, and the boss fights. Oh, the boss fights. I have never had so much fun fighting bosses in video games until now. It's so creative, even normal enemy gauntlets are insane. There's even difficulty curves in platforming. Every aspect in the game has a progression curve so that when you finally master Hollow Knight, you feel like a changed man. Not to mention, it's only $15. This game is like 100 hours long and it's cheaper than a Fortnite skin. I love this game and I can't wait for Silksong. So anyways guys, that's going to be it for my top 22 games of all time. Maybe I'll do a top games of a year, maybe at the end of the year. Maybe that'll be a thing, who knows. But yeah, just if you guys liked it, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.